Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. Hello, hello, hello. I decided I wanted to hang out a little bit and say hi to you guys before I go to bed. I'm not going to be up for too long. I was watching that Michael Jordan documentary tonight. You know, Alicia is a big Bulls fan, and so we checked that out. It's called The Last Dance. It's really good. I think you guys will like it. And if you haven't watched it, I suggest you check it out. If you're a sports fan like me, then it was great to kind of go down memory lane and you remember all the major victories of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls and everything else. And I'll give you guys time to come into the chat. I'm going to let everybody know on Twitter that I'm live. By the way, my Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. That's Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. Let me see here. So feel free to put your questions in the chat, and I'll answer a few of your questions. You can ask me any question about any topic that you want. It does not matter, and I will answer the question honestly. Hey, J Money, Melanated Rich, Combo, Jessica, Audrey. How old am I? I'm 48. Clifton, B1, currently living in Fairbanks, Alaska, born and raised in Miami. That's what's up. Nice. Use hashtag B1 in the chat if you're Black first, just to remind ourselves who we are and where we stand at. Use that hashtag B1. B1 stands for Black First. It also means that we must be one in order for us to win. In order for us to say that you won, then you must be one in order to have won, if that makes any sense. And by the way, congrats to Vicky Dillard. Vicky Dillard was named by a magazine, Rise Magazine, as the Queen of Black Media. I think if anybody deserves that, it's Vicky. Vicky works so hard. She's so smart. And I just really think that we need to hear more from Black women like that who really represent the community, really represent what people are thinking and what our people really want, you know, as opposed to like these like anointed Negroes who are chosen by white people. How much to advertise your business? Email producer@flynubianmedia.com. That's producer@flynubianmedia.com. I think they have an advertising package, but I don't know much about what the costs are. Or you can email support@theblackbusinessschool.com, support@theblackbusinessschool.com. Let's see. First time on, Dr. Watkins, Kwame. Thanks for all you do. I've been learning a lot. Good. Welcome to the tribe. Just know we're a little bit crazy. You're going to disagree with me, but in this space, we're all okay with disagreeing with each other. Are you doing any more movies? Yes, we're making a movie called The Black Love Blueprint Part 2, and we're also doing spinoffs of that series because we believe deeply in Black love and relationships, particularly when it comes to us showing the love and respect to the Black woman that she deserves. I think the Black woman should be put on top, and so that's one of our agenda items. And also, we do Black Movie Night. So if you haven't joined us for Black Movie Night, we're doing Black Movie Night on the 21st. We're going to watch all thousands of us get together. Last time, I think 4,000 or 5,000 people showed up, or maybe 6,000 to 7,000 registered or something like that. And basically what we're doing is we're building a Black-owned movie industry. And we're doing that by going into our own community, finding the directors, writers, producers, and actors and actresses, and we're showing films from our own community. Because if you have an audience, then you've got an industry. If you have an audience, you've got an industry. So we're building that audience, and it's been growing very rapidly. And the next film we're going to watch is called Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint, directed by Dorian Chandler. If you'd like to join us, you can come to Black Movie Night totally free. Just register at blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. Novum Digital, thank you for your donation. Novum.us, Novam.us, marketplace for Black-owned business. Let's see. Maserati. Baltimore has no ideas on opening up Dr. Boyce in no summer. Democratic cities. Yeah, this whole pandemic shutdown thing, it's become political. And my theory is that when things get political, they get really stupid. So you get people, because remember that I did a video about this the other day. A lot of the whole discussion, the reason they got 36 million people to voluntarily give away their jobs is because they told them that 2 million people were going to die. Anybody remember that when they predicted 2 million deaths? And it turned out to be like literally 1/20th of that, less than 1/20th of that. And now they're holding on to this narrative, and it's not fair to all those people that are struggling financially. So, you know, I don't know if they're trying to make our country into a socialist country where people just stay home from work and wait for a check. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what their plan is, but I believe that that they're going to have the lockdowns until either I think their goal is like there will be no more germs on the planet, like until every germ on Earth is gone. That's how long they like. Literally, if you're like, well, how many deaths does the number have to get to before you think it's okay to open up? Well, no deaths are acceptable. 2 people died yesterday. Well, we live in a country where 7,000 people die every day just because it's a Tuesday. Like, is there a number? Is there a threshold? There is no threshold because it's all political. Their goal is they want to destroy the economy so they can so the Democrats can get elected. So this is a power play between the Democrats and the Republicans. They're fighting for power, and they're trying to destroy the economy. And it's fine what they do to Trump. I don't care so much. The problem is there's collateral damage. The collateral damage is your job and your livelihood and et cetera. And I've looked at the statistics. I've analyzed the stats, and your odds of catching the virus are about 1 in 250. So that means if you have 250 people in a room, one of them will get sick. The other 249 will be fine. But then the one person who gets sick, they only have less than maybe a 2 or 3% chance. I think a 3 to 5% chance of dying. But that's assuming that they're old. If you're over the age of 75 and you get it, then you have to worry. But if you're under 75 years old, even if you get it, even if you're unlucky enough to get it, you're not really expected to die. Now, this is not me pretending like it's not a big deal. It's me trying to sort of counter the fear porn that you're getting through the media because they're trying to win an election. Believe me, mark my words, mark my words, mark my words. If the Democrats win the next election, they're not going to be talking about Corona a year from now. It's not even going to be a big deal. They are not, if the Democrats are in power, they're not going to shut down their whole economy and get, and screw up their reelection chances, just because they're trying to keep you safe. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it for themselves. That's what I truly believe. Because some of it just doesn't make any sense anymore. It just doesn't make any sense. So anyway, again, if 2 million people had died, then that would make more sense. But 89,000 is a very tiny number. Just for reference, just to give you a reference point, 61,000 people died last year from the flu. 61,000 died from the flu. Now, if you listen carefully, pay attention, listen carefully to the rhetoric. The rhetoric is, it's going to be bad. But it could be bad. Or what if this happens? It's going to be terrible. But so they're always talking about what it could be, what it's going to be, what it might be, but they're not talking about what it is because they don't have anything to hold on to. Even New York is really leveling off, to the point where even the governor is like, who's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Even he's like running out of things to scream and yell about. So anyway, let me keep going. But I hate having to be the Grim Reaper and even bring this argument to you because people think that, you're being mean, like you're being insensitive. And I'm not insensitive to Black Death. I think you're insensitive to Black Death because a lot of the same people who are screaming and hollering and all sad because Black people are dying from Corona, they were the same ones who gave me pushback when I was talking about Lizzo and the mass promotion of diabetes and heart disease and obesity in the Black community. Those very same people who are saying, you don't care about Black lives don't matter to you. You're only doing it because the Democrats told you to say it. Because if you were really on that Black Lives Matter tip, you would have agreed with me when I said, maybe we shouldn't be cheering on mass media promoting death in the Black community, promoting diabetes, heart disease, and strokes, which is killing Black folks. Seriously, how are you going to cheer on Lizzo, but then get upset when Black people are dying from pre-existing conditions? You're fucked up. You're stupid. Something's wrong with your damn head. That's just my 2 cents. Let me stop before I get too mad. So anyway, Kwame says, thanks, Dr. Boykins. I don't mind disagreement as long as we grow from the conversation. Absolutely. Rodney, do you still believe that Blacks are still an underclass? Some of us are. I think sometimes, honestly, white supremacy, some of it exists in the mind. Like a white man could think all day that he's superior to me, but if I don't believe that he is, then it doesn't matter. It's like when, I watched the Michael Jordan documentary and Reggie Miller thought his team was the Indiana Pacers thought they were superior to the Chicago Bulls. Didn't matter to the Bulls. They were like, well, we're just gonna prove you wrong, right? So people are always going to think they're superior to you. The question is, do you believe that they're superior to you? Because if you believe white folks are superior to you and you believe they control your lives and that you believe they control all your outcomes, then you're a white supremacist. You might as well just put on a Klan robe and start burning the cross in your motherfucking front yard because you pretty much have put them on a pedestal with Jesus that makes them somehow superior to you. I'm not going to make the white man into a god. I will go toe to toe with that motherfucker and fight him any day of the week. And I will fight a crazy Negro too. So at the end of the day, you got to understand that a lot of your enemies are not just foreign. They're also domestic. They're not just external. They're also internal. Sometimes the haters don't exist outside of your body. Sometimes the haters exist between your ears. So you've got to learn how to love yourself and believe in yourself, because I really believe that if you believe in yourself and you know who the hell you are and you know what you can do, then can't nobody stop you. Can't nobody stop you. You hear me? All right, let me keep going. Um, let's see here. Space Dawn says medical Dr. Boyce. I am not a medical doctor, but I do talk to medical doctor. My sister is. She's a medical doctor. Let's see. Maserati LA will be doing shutdowns for the next 4 months. Yeah, that mayor. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. That's going to be real interesting. Let's see, because as I check, people in LA need money. Space Dawn says, try not to kill my mother. I will not kill your mother. No one's trying to kill your mother. Keep your mother safe. Let's see. My father, just so you know, I have a father with a compromised immune system. So I thought about my own family. I actually know somebody who went down from the virus, right? But I also know people who died from a lot of things, so just know it's not like it doesn't affect all of us. But at the same time, my father is not a person who also believes people should sit in their house for the rest of their life. So, and he literally has a compromised immune system, so we're just careful. We just, try to be smart. Let's see, Chris, population control. I wouldn't doubt it. Novum Digital. Do you think it's likely that we will come together to weather the storm? I think some of us will come together. Absolutely. Have you seen the fall of Cabal? Says Twin Dimples. No, I have not. I will look it up. Space Dawn, I would like to give her a good hug again. Who's that? I don't know who you want to hug. Is it Lizzo? Well, you got to spread your arms out real wide because she's a big girl. Kevin, what advice do you people that receive stimulus money pay what's bills first? Yeah, I mean, I would pay my bills first. Yeah, pay your bills first. That'll kind of, I mean, that's essential. That's what everybody has to do, right? But then, try to get in the habit of saving. I think investing is the key to wealth. Everybody should be a stock market investor. Oh, you like the skit? Oh, yeah, I did that skit. I literally thought to do it today. I don't know why. I guess it's because I think that this whole Corona thing it's on drboycetv.com if you want to see my skit. It's a little bit out of my element. I'm not a comedian, but I thought, this is getting so crazy because I'm hearing it all. I'm hearing all the perspectives. I'm hearing the conspiracy theories that black people can't catch it. I'm hearing from, the Trump supporters who are saying that, that it's all political and that they're going to go to church and be protected by the blood of Jesus. I'm hearing from the my MSNBC friends who literally are convinced that you're going to die because you looked out your goddamn window, and they love to shame people. They love to shame, like, oh my gosh, you're going out without a mask. That's so irresponsible. When people start doing stuff like that, my first reaction is like, fuck you, man. Like, shut up. Like, stop acting like you're holier than thou and you're better than other people. I just can't stand that kind of elitism. That's why the Democrats lost the last election, because they think they're better than other people. They think that they know what's better for the country than anybody else. And they think they have the right to look down on people. And that 60 million people that you were looking down on, those are the people who pumped your ass out of office because they were like, you're not showing basic respect. Like, for example, when they were running around trying to call everybody in the black church homophobic, because who the fuck are you to tell me I can't listen to my pastor and believe what's in my Bible? I don't even go to church, and that's what I believe. I'm saying I don't even go. I'm a heathen. I'm speaking as a heathen, but I respect somebody's right to go to church and believe what they're going to believe. What they believe has nothing to do with what you do in your bedroom. I don't know a single Christian who's ever going to come in your bedroom in a police uniform and try to get you locked up because you decided to put your penis inside a dude. Like, I don't know a single Christian who would do that. So at the end of the day, stop policing their right to be who they want to be, and they won't mess with you, So I just think it's kind of stupid. It's ridiculous. So anyway, let me keep going. Joseph, what are your predictions on the progress of Black America? I think that some segments of the community are going to do extremely well, but then hopefully those individuals will be the ones that can create jobs for the people whose parents don't prepare them for the future. The future is coming. It's going to be grim. It's going to be difficult. I encourage you to embrace education, economic strength, also Black identity. If you have a highly educated person who knows how to make money, who has a strong Black identity, that person becomes a great asset to the community. But unfortunately, you have a lot of Black folks who can make a little money, but it's only because they become white supremacists, and that's not a good way that doesn't help anybody, honestly. Let's see here. Angel says, Dr. Boyce, how do you feel about the work of Thomas Sowell? I'm not a big fan because guys like that bother me because they're a little bit too white. They're a little bit too bought into this idea that white is right and that everything that's conservative is good. And they tend to go the Clarence Thomas route, where they have literally no understanding or empathy for the struggles of being black. Clarence Thomas is a pretty disgusting guy. He doesn't, he married that ugly white lady, and he doesn't respect black women. He doesn't, seem to have much concern for the black community. It's not like he's a conservative. Like, I know the difference between somebody who's conservative because they really think it's good for the black community versus somebody who's conservative because they're opportunistic. Candace Owens comes off to me as opportunistic. When you run around trying to tell everybody that Trump is wonderful, and you're not showing sort of concrete evidence that you're really advocating for the black community in a meaningful way, then that tells me you're being opportunistic. It's not, what's the word? It doesn't surprise me that she married that white boy, that she did the whole Meghan Markle, like, married the rich white boy thing, because that's kind of her MO. Her MO is like, she's just trying to do whatever she can to get ahead and get opportunity. She's the new Omarosa. That's all she really is. In fact, maybe that's why Omarosa got booted out. You never know, like, what's going on with these people. So I think that people like that, I can't vibe with conservatives like that, but I can actually identify with conservative values. I don't think conservatism in itself is a bad thing. I just think you have to be very, very careful to make sure that you understand the complete picture before you invoke your point of view. And I feel comfortable doing that because I know what it's like to be black and poor. I know what it's like to go through racism. I haven't forgotten that. I can go back in my track record and improve. I was born in the projects. I remember what it's like to have roaches in your food. I know what it's like to get your lights cut out. Like, I've gone through that, but I also know what it's like to have hardworking parents that, did things on a basic level to raise us above where many of our friends ended up. We didn't use that as an excuse to end up on drugs or killing people or sitting around doing nothing. Like, that was not how we were raised. So I think a lot of people can identify with that. And I honestly think those are black values, those are black values that we had before integration. I think integration turned us into a bunch of weird socialist hippies. And the reason we became socialists is because the socialists and the communists embraced us when nobody else would. So you got a lot of black folks running around here talking about they hate business. I hate capitalism. Black people who make money are evil and bad and all that. And that's not an accurate or healthy point of view, because black people need their economic base. We don't have an economic base. That's why we're oppressed. That's the number one cause of our oppression, is a lack of an economic base. So, when you have people that run around here, and I'm not going to say their names because I don't even want to elevate these people, but they run around here saying, basically attacking every black person with a business, telling black people you can't start businesses, but yet these motherfuckers out begging for donations on the internet. Like, those individuals are not the people that should be leading a community, because they can't even lead themselves out of their mama's basement. So, I think you need leadership. You need winners in your community. Thank you, Dee. I appreciate your support. She says, respect to you, Doc, or respect to you too. Let's see here. John, what do you think is the cause of the homelessness crisis in California? Do you think it's caused by financially irresponsible people? Yes, America is overly committed to capitalism. And I think that's one issue I have with the Fox Newses of the world, is they make it almost like it's a crime to tax rich people a little bit more money. I think that they should be taxed, because your government's going to go bankrupt. If the Democrats get their way, the Democrats are pushing through another $3 trillion stimulus package. That is absolutely outrageous. That's insane, given that they've already borrowed more money than they can ever repay. Like to scale it down, to break it down like this, our annual revenue for the government is about $3 trillion, I think, something like $3.5 trillion. We have $24 trillion in debt. $24 trillion in debt, something like this, 23, 24, something like that. So imagine so that's like a person who makes, $30,000 a year, owing almost $250,000 in debt. How would you feel? Would you feel safe if you made $30,000 a year in income and were $250,000 in debt? No. And then imagine somebody came along and said, let's go borrow another 30,000. It's no big deal. Right? You might be like, well, you know what, fuck it. But really, eventually those chickens are going to come home to roost. So, these people with the socialist agenda are going to absolutely wreck the government. Somebody's got to pay this debt. And I think taxing the rich is the way to go. I don't think everybody sitting at home waiting on a check is a good option. But I do think at the same time, you need a bigger safety net. Your country does not have a good enough safety net. And that's why you have issues with homelessness. They totally gutted the mental health system, so these people don't have any place to go to get the treatment that they need. It's absolutely atrocious. And California is one of those places where it's really, really bad, and it's going to continue to get worse. Let's see here. Pink Cashmere. There are many people. Dang, Pink, I lost your question. You said there are many people. Oh, okay, I see another question from you, Pink. So I'm gonna answer that one because this thing skips around and I miss your question. So I apologize. I'm a registered Democrat, but I need to change. I can't change the superior attitudes of the politicians. They empower every dummy out here to think they're intellectuals because of party affiliation. Yeah, the Democrats have to get over that snobbery thing. If they don't start listening to people, they'll never win another election. Like getting on board with the Me Too movement is completely biting them in the ass right now. Like the fact that you're trying to now you pushed the Me Too movement for a long time, which was this ridiculous idea that anybody with a vagina can accuse anybody with a penis of any crime that they want, and everybody's going to believe them because you're dumb enough to have slogans like "Believe all women," "I believe all women." I never agree with that. I said that's stupid. Like that doesn't make any damn. Like politics just makes people so dumb. Like it's weird. I'm like, what is this? And so now you're trying to do a whole 180 and get people to elect a president who's openly being accused of raping a woman. Like this Tara, I can't remember her last name. She's literally like, she's got stories, she's got receipts, she's got witnesses. And the Me Too people are like, well, we still like him. We still want to support Biden. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to support the truth. And the fact that you were lying so long makes you a bigger liar when you try to flip around and suddenly you're supporting this guy who, I guess, because he was dumb enough to support your bullshit. And Biden could have put a stop to all this back when he and Obama were in office, allowing the Me Too movement to just kind of run ramshot with their party. They took their party far to the left, and now they're stuck there. Like Obama and Biden, both of them went along with all of that bullshit. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. This is the data. Look this up. Research this. Don't listen to me. Research this. Don't get mad. Research this. Biden repeated a statistic that said something like 1 out of every 4 college women gets raped on campus. Is there something like that? I don't know if anybody remembers that. All the experts were screaming at the top of their lungs, that is not true. Stop saying that. That is not true. There's nothing to confirm or prove this. But because Biden said it, everybody ran with it. Another false statistic that they used was that a man has as high of a likelihood of being falsely accused of rape as he does of being struck by lightning. That was another false statistic. I noticed it because I saw it on social media. I got attacked by an army of feminists. Like they were like little bumblebees, like all attacking my website at once. And they kept repeating the same statistic. So I went and researched it. I dug deep. I did a Snopes on that shit to say, where did this stat come from? This doesn't seem, because I know a lot of brothers who got falsely accused and this don't seem accurate. And they basically, I confirmed through my research that researchers are like, this is never true. There was a guy at BuzzFeed who wasn't a statistician, who wasn't a subject matter expert, who did a back of the envelope stupid calculation and came up with this crazy idea and threw it out there, and everybody believed it. And next thing you know, these politicians were repeating this nonsense and everybody was running with it. That's how things like McCarthyism happened. If you don't know about McCarthyism, that was a terrible time in American history. That's how the Salem witch trials were started. That's how, the Nazi Holocaust began. It's like sort of people being afraid to have a dissenting voice, people being afraid to disagree with the mob, right? Because the mob basically gets to the point where they're so emotionally charged that they make you feel like you're a sellout if you don't go along with their bullshit. Because I'm a student of history and because I am a scholar and because I'm not a dumb motherfucker, I saw this coming. I see all this and I'm like, this is my opportunity to make sure it's clear for the record that I'm not going along with some of this bullshit because it is a damn lie. And you need more people to have the courage to do that. Not that I'm a courageous person, but I'm just telling you, if that's how you feel, speak your damn truth. Speak your truth. Stand up to the mob because the mob is wrong and somebody has to do it. Let me keep going. Hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't done the thumbs up button, please do that. Let's see here. You think we'll ever get a second wave in the future? Yeah, we might. We'll probably have more death. I mean, death is going to happen no matter what. Death is a part of life. Germs will never disappear. Viruses have been here for billions of years. Have you ever studied like the history of viruses and bacteria? Viruses have been around. My God, when we're gone, a virus will probably remove us from the planet. And viruses, we don't want to go to war with viruses. Viruses will win. Those motherfuckers, they're smart. They're able to evolve in ways that we can't evolve. Don't mess with viruses, man. Seriously. So we will get a second wave, but we will survive the second wave. You know, it is what it is. Let's see, Jason. Cuomo scared as fuck to reopen. The med ship got sent back. Yeah. Cuomo's trying to run for president. That's why Cuomo is conducting himself the way that he is. I think that he's making a power play. Because Joe Biden, I predict that Joe Biden may not be the Democratic nominee at the end of the day. I believe that at the last minute, I'm just watching, right? I'm watching everybody's moves. I see Cuomo over here, gesturing like he should be president. I see Joe Biden. Everybody's watching Joe Biden basically show the fact that he's an old fucking man. Like he's a poor guy. He's too he's gone. Like mentally, he ain't there. He's not ready to do 4 years as president, let alone 8 years. My God, he's going to be another Ronald Reagan, and they know this. So they're behind the scenes figuring out, like, okay, what are we going to do? So I see Michelle Obama, putting out her documentary, which was a PR thing. All these documentaries are PR moves. That's what they are. Michelle, she's trying to sell her book, but I think she's also trying to sell herself. Hillary Clinton is really trying to sell herself. If you watch Hillary's documentary, she goes out of her way to basically lay out a checklist of all the issues that people have with her and address them one by one by one. And I believe Hillary's going to make a move. I believe Hillary wants to be the first female president. And to be real with you, I think she deserved it. I think that people were a little bit too mean to Hillary. If I had to vote, which I'm not, I told you I'm not supporting Democrats or Republicans, but if I had to, I think Hillary just knows her way around. And I don't hate her as much as a lot of people do. But so somebody's going to step in at the last minute and replace Biden. I don't know how they're going to play it, but he's I don't think he's going to be the nominee. Let's see here. Space Dawn says you're overcorrecting. Okay. Thank you. Let's see here. Pink Cashmere says there are many people who think they've had the virus long before the pandemic. They have. I mean, the coronaviruses have been around for a while. I think the virus is real, but also very much overblown and numbers are inflated. Yes, the numbers are clearly inflated. I have no doubt. And the reason is because I saw the CDC criteria for how they were counting corona deaths. You guys know that, right? If you were exposed to somebody who had it and they just thought you had it and then you died, they were going to write down that you died from corona. If you had it when you died, but it didn't kill you, you had, let's say you had a heart attack, they will write down that you died from corona. Imagine if they did that with like something like herpes. Like, there's millions of people that got herpes. Y'all might not know this, but look up the statistics. It's out there. A lot of people just don't get tested for it. But anyway, imagine if they did that. Every time somebody died, if they had herpes, they'd be like, he died from herpes. Like that would be kind of crazy, right? But it's one of those things when you talk about cause of death, it gets fuzzy. My sister works in the coroner's office. She was signed death certificates. Like she does autopsies for a living. And cause of death is kind of just a funny, sticky thing. It can be, if it becomes political, it can just kind of get a little bit weird. Like, for example, think about this. We know a lot of people die from things related to AIDS every year. But how many people do you really know who've actually died from AIDS, where AIDS was on their death certificate? And you go to their funeral, like, how'd they die? Oh, he died of AIDS. No, they never die of AIDS. They always die from something that results from having a weakened immune system, right? So I think that, AIDS as a cause of death is kind of the opposite of what's going on with corona. I think that with corona, because there were so many financial incentives to list corona as the cause of death, I don't blame the hospitals for being like, well, if you think it might have been corona, go ahead and write corona on there, right? As long as you don't break the rules, but the rules are very wide open, very vague. So I think the numbers were definitely inflated, but even with inflated numbers, the numbers were still far lower than the 2 million they predicted. And here's what I argue. Here's what I made this point. I said, if you went back and you told people, look, this virus is going to be crazy, 90,000 people are going to die, are 36 million of you willing to lose your jobs because 96,000 people or 90,000 people are going to die? I think a lot of people would have been like, oh, hell no, I can't go 3 months without paying bills because I'm sorry, my heart goes out. I hope that they, wear masks, wash their hands, social distance, whatever they got to do, but I got to pay bills. 2 million is a very different number from 89,000. And I think that we've forgotten that as we've kind of sort of overcommitted to this pandemic conversation. Let's see here. Okay, let's keep going. Does the BBS have an investment club? We are going to create an investment club. I've been meaning to do that. Maybe I'll create one out of the out of the masterclass. We're doing the masterclass now. So if you want to join the investing masterclass, we meet every Wednesday. You can go to drboycemasterclass.com. All the recordings from the previous masterclass sessions are there. So feel free to go to drboycemasterclass.com. But we are going to create an investment club probably sometime this summer. So we will have an investment club soon. Let's see here. Any plans for the All Black National Convention, says Clifton? Good question. We were going to do it in New York, which obviously can't happen. We were going to use Medgar Evers College. We were going to go to Medgar Evers College. We still are committed to Medgar Evers College, but we're going to do Medgar Evers in 2021. I love Medgar Evers. I love that school. Great people there. And instead, we're going to do something digital. It's not going to be physical because we don't know. There's too much uncertainty around gathering people together, although I would love to gather people together. You know what? That's the thing, though. The reason I don't do it is because, honestly, there's not one single person in this chat right now where I would be afraid to shake your hand or give you a hug if I met you. Not one. I don't want to go through my life scared of other human beings. I just don't. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't gel well with my spirit. It's not fun for me. But that's just me. That's my 2 cents. Does Dr. Anderson support the idea? Kashta says, does Dr. Anderson support the idea of a community being built to exemplify principles of powernomics? Yeah, he does. And one day it'll happen. We got to just lay the groundwork. Maybe the next generation will do the things that we can't quite do. The pandemic skit was funny, a classic. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You can watch it on my Instagram if you want to. I threw it up there. It's the real Boyce Watkins. So feel free to go to the Instagram. Listening from Australia. I work as an RN and invest in shares. Good for you. Everybody should be a stock market investor. If you are not a stock market investor, then I hope that you'll consider doing that, because that's what millionaires do. 90% of all millionaires invest in the stock market. So the first step to building wealth for your family is start acting like a millionaire. And I want you to just start investing. I can show you in 10 minutes. It's very easy to do. You can learn for free. Go to firstshareofstock.com. That's 4 words. Firstshareofstock.com. Firstshareofstock.com. Somebody type that in, please. Firstshareofstock.com. Do you think Candace Owens believes the things she says or just likes to stir the pot? I think she believes what she's saying, but she doesn't provide an adequate solution. So Candace is very good at pointing out problems, but isn't very good at providing solutions. So, she can get the ball down the court, but she doesn't know how to shoot. So my point is, the reason I bring that up is because it's much easier. And politics is a very destructive profession. It's very destructive, right? People don't win elections by bringing people together and convincing you that they're the best candidate. They win elections by creating division and by telling you that whoever you're supporting is not worth your support, right? So it's much easier for me to get you to get a divorce than it is to get you to marry me, right? So basically, Candace Owens, that's her job. She's basically the political homewrecker, so to speak. So she's the one who goes to Black people and speaks the language very well. She tells Black people, the Democrats don't like you, and we know this. Oh, they ignore you. We know this. They're screwing you over. We know this, right? And, your wealth levels are having these problems. We know this. But, then she says, okay, and everybody should follow me and vote for Trump. Well, that makes her as dumb as anybody else, because the reality is that Black people don't have any good options when it comes to politics. Black people don't have any friends. And so Candace Owens, to that extent, is highly disingenuous because she's kind of convincing you that what you're doing isn't working, but she's not providing an adequate counter solution. She's just doing this to sort of win an election so she can get paid by Trump and all this other stuff. So that's why I'm not a big fan of Candace Owens in that regard. Although, what she's saying it's not untrue at all. I mean, she's 100% correct about a lot of the things she says about, what it's like to be Black in politics. How does Robinhood pay dividends? They just pay it. They put it in your account. Melanated Rich says the skit. Oh, you like the skit too? I didn't know if anybody's gonna like it. Honestly, I just said fuck it. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Maybe I'll do another one. I since you guys are responding, so in a certain way, I think I might. I actually kind of have fun being a little silly. That's actually who I am deep down. I think life is so serious. You got to learn how to laugh. Do you have any thoughts on Forex? Yes, Forex is an interesting market, very liquid, very big, but also very risky. So if you dive into Forex, just know there's a good chance of losing money, but it's worth looking into. Let's see. How would you go up against technology giants such as Facebook? That's tough. That's a tough one. I mean, we do have a social media platform. It's called Blaggenuf, BLAGGENUF. If somebody's a member, type it in the chat so other people can find it. But it's Blaggenuf, BLAGGENUF. And we went to Blaggenuf because Mighty Networks already had an infrastructure built that was going to work. we went to them because we spent a year trying to build something of our own, and it was so difficult. The engineers kept sending me shit, and it was all fucked up. It wasn't working right, and it made me so mad because we were paying them like $2,000 a week. Like we paid about $100,000 to get this thing built, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm not spending more money on this. This is not working, because if it's this sloppy now, then I can't imagine what's going to happen if, we get 100,000 people on this platform. So we went out and looking for a pre-built solution that was already working. And that's why we use Mighty Networks. But Black Enough is there. It does have a community. You can actually find people that live near you right there that are Black. So it's pretty cool. And we don't censor you or anything like that. So feel free to go check it out. It's Black Enough, BLAGGENUF, which stands almost like Black Enough. Let's see, novom.us. Thank you for your donation. It says, we built an Amazon for Black and local and online businesses. Your thoughts on digital Black businesses for the Black community during COVID-19. The URL is novom, novam.us. I think that's good. I think that's great. I like that. I think digital business is the wave of the future. Everything's going to be digital. I don't think you can get over, we've traumatized the country. I don't know how you untraumatize the country. I think we're going to just be a country full of germaphobes now. People are going to be scared of each other. Shaking hands is going to be something that people used to do back in the old days. I don't think you're going to come back from this, So I think understanding digital business is a wave of the future, and I think it's something you should look into for your kids. Quindre says, Grant Cardone thinks employees should work for free to not lose their jobs during the pandemic. Well, that's a tough thing to ask, but and it's tough for Grant Cardone to say that, because this man's like probably worth $50 million to $100 million. So I don't know what his logic is. I don't think that's going to go over too well. I don't think people should have to work for free, but working for free can be a beneficial strategy in specific situations. The way I got my big break, so to speak, in terms of getting my brand out there, was I worked for free for AOL Black Voices for months, and wrote hundreds of articles for them for free, just to show them that I could do it, and to show them my commitment, and to invest in myself, to build my name. And it's not, a lot of people don't do that, because if you have a paycheck mentality, all you're thinking about is your paycheck. I was thinking about the long term, the big payoff, actually owning a brand that actually meant something. And so there's something to that idea of working for free. And in fact, there's another deal. Somebody reached out to me about doing a podcast on their platform. And I've never had a book deal, a TV deal, a radio deal, none of that. No, because most of these deals come from white people, and I don't hate white people, but they don't like me very much. And so I don't work with them very well most of the time, because I'm too Black. But this Black company came along, and they really, I'm not going to say the name, I'll announce it when the time is right. And they wanted to do some stuff with me. And they were like, well, how much is it going to cost us? What do you got to pay? And I said, don't pay me anything. This is a partnership. I'm an investor. I'm an investor like you. I want this to succeed. So my first gesture of goodwill to show you that I want this to succeed is I will come in and I will do this totally for free. Don't worry about me and money. Like I got money doing other things. I just want this to do well. And I think that little things like that can really show your commitment to a partnership. So it doesn't mean you never ask for the money, but don't ever let the money distract you from the bigger picture. You see, you got to think big. Being Black means being smart, but thinking big is far more important than being smart. I know a lot of really smart motherfuckers who think tiny, who think small. So all they do is they go through life getting these little tiny wins, because their self-esteem can't handle the magnitude of trying to do something big. So never be like a tiny genius. I'd rather be a big dumbass than a tiny little genius. Seriously. And there have been times where I've been a big dumbass, but you got to be willing to be a big dumbass, so that one day maybe you could be like me and be a big smart ass, right? So now I'm big and I'm a smart ass. I piss off half the world, but I got half the world that doesn't hate me so much, and it works, right? So whatever it is, commit to you. Think about who you are. Think about what it is you want to do, and do it to the best of your ability, and give it all you got. And do absolutely everything you possibly can to try your best to shake off, that negativity, those scars from those failures that come along, and, whether it's haters or critics and all that, because the more you do, the more you're going to hear a lot of that. And you can't ignore it all. Like, you got to hear some of it, but you can't hear all of it. And you certainly can't internalize it. So there's a process for all of this. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's see here. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up, share, and subscribe button. I want to remind you guys, we're doing Black Movie Night on the 21st. We're going to watch Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint, directed by Dorian Chandler. It's going to be really good. If you want to register, you can register for free at blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. Warrior 1975 says, Boyce, do you wear a mask? I keep masks in the car because some stores require you to wear a mask going in, but I don't think masks keep me safer. I don't really. And I can't breathe with those things, and I hate it. I think it's all stupid, honestly. I just really think we've overestimated the probabilities of getting sick. That's just my 2 cents. Jason, what do you think about riding African cities like Lagos, Kigali, and Nairobi? What do I think about riding the cities? I've been trying to get brothers to invest in the homeland. Yeah, I went to Lagos. I've been to Lagos. I've never been to Kigali or Nairobi. Yeah, I think that what's going to have to occur is there's going to have to be kind of a little bit of a cultural exchange. My time in Ghana kind of made me sort of feel like maybe there's like some cultural differences. Africans and African Americans get along really well. Like I felt really at home when I was there. The people were absolutely wonderful, but there's a difference in terms of how business is done there versus here. And I think it requires a cultural education for both parties to kind of understand what it's going to take to make things work. Because I could not, when I was there, figure out the logistics specifics of how business could be done, over there in the way that we wanted to do it. There were too many sort of barriers to kind of getting it done. So that's something that I'm still trying to process and figure out. Let's see here. Okay. Space Don, Markel Kia on Facebook. Okay. MARKUELKIAH. Okay. J Money, you're skipping my question on purpose. Is becoming a secured party creditor worth researching? A secured party creditor. Those 3 words together, I'm trying to sort of process that. You mean a creditor? You're trying to be a creditor, meaning you're loaning people money, and I'm trying to figure out what that. I don't know much about that. So yeah, J Money, I didn't see your question before, but I'll write it down and think it through. But those 3 words together, secured party creditor. Like I know what secured credit is. I know what a party is, obviously. Secured party creditor. I don't know much about that, so I apologize for that. Let's see, Xavier. Hey, real shit. Around 2014, my idol has went from Michael Jordan to Dr. Boyce Watkins. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow, man, I'm flattered by that. If I can compete with Michael Jordan, that's pretty cool. I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now. I'm playing. I like Michael Jordan as an athlete, though. I identify with the documentary. I think if you really, are a person that wants to do things at an excellent high level, watch the documentary. Just get inside the heads of people that do things at an excellent level and try to get over what you think about their personality and all that stuff. Like those are superficial issues. Those are tiny issues. Just learn what you can from those people. And Jordan had a philosophy. He had a way of doing things. I read his book when I was 22 years old, and that shaped part of my perspective on excellence. Like one thing that he wrote in his book, 2 things I remember from his book. One was I remember him saying that when you stop growing, you start dying. So you should always grow. You should always look to get better at whatever it is you're doing. And if you look at his career, that's what he did. That's how he won his championships, because he wasn't good enough to win championships early in his career. He became good enough because he kept growing, he kept evolving, he kept changing his game. And then the second thing he said that stuck with me was he said, excellent people don't just sort of react to situations. Like they don't work harder just because they won or work harder just because they lost or respond or react to whatever's going around them. They just have a philosophy of excellence, just a core value that just says everything I do, I'm gonna give 100%. I'm gonna give 150%. If that's not good enough, I'm gonna give 200%. I'm gonna do my best. And if that ain't good enough, I'm gonna do better than my best. Right. And that's something that stayed with me. I believe that. That's something I carry with me my whole life. And I have a philosophy that I stick with, and I don't really care what anybody else is doing. I don't care what anybody else has to say about it. I'm going to come in there and I may not get what I want, but I'm going to give it everything I got, and I think that mindset, I think that goes a long way to get what you want out of life. You can't walk around here like no bitch. Like, seriously, they train black people to just be bitches. Like, they just tell you, well, because you're black, that's why you can't read. The baby can't read because he's black. And being black, of course you're going to be poor. You was born poor. Of course you're going to be in. And then you get people that set the bar really low. Like Chris Rock talked about that. Remember he said you got guys that be like, well, at least I take care of my kids. And he was like, but you dumbass, you're supposed to take care of your kids. Why are you bragging about doing the basics? Seriously, like, are you disabled? Like, oh, well, at least I'm not in jail. And he was like, well, you're not supposed to be in jail. Like, that's not, like that you don't get a lifetime achievement award because you didn't go to jail. And so I think that for black people, because you allow yourself to be put in this sort of the class of the downtrodden, the class of the disabled, the class of the weak, you set your bar so low that, you have so many people that could have been extraordinary, but they become mediocre because nobody ever really challenges them or pushes them. Right. So, I think it's great to be aware of your circumstances, but every circumstance you go through, every challenge you have, it's either an opportunity for you to have a disability or a superpower, one or the other. Either your challenges make you extraordinary because you overcame them, or they give you a disability because that becomes your crutch. That becomes your excuse. So you have to make a decision. You have to make a choice. Let's see. What classes, subjects, FHG, what classes or subjects? I don't know what you mean by that. But if you're talking about the Black Business School, we have a Black Money sequence that goes from 101 through 106. So if you want to go talk to one of the reps, we have reps that are always on the line. You can probably go in there at 2:00 in the morning. Somebody might start talking to you. You can go to theblackbusinessschool.com, THE, that's theblackbusinessschool.com. We're very good at what we do. We have excellent instructors. And we just, our goal is to create a high quality, low cost, culturally relevant alternative to an overpriced college education. The number one problem that we're solving is the fact that so many of our students are going to college and being stuck with so much student loan debt that they can never repay it. So when I was a professor at Syracuse and I saw my students paying $60,000 a year to go to Syracuse, I said, this is too much. These students are getting in debt and they can never get out of debt. So I wanted to create a space where you could go learn what you need to learn, but you don't have to go in debt. So you can actually get started for free. You can get started with no money in your pocket, but they have other stuff that does have a price to it, but it doesn't cost very much. And a lot of people are very happy with it. And we'd love to have you in the Black Business School. That's theblackbusinessschool.com, THE, theblackbusinessschool.com. Do you think every college student should take, or what classes, subjects do you think every college student should take? I think every Black student in America should know how to start their own business, and they should also know how to invest. You know how to start your own business in case the white man won't give you a job. That can't be your excuse for not having income. You have to find a way to generate something for yourself. They're not going to create opportunities for you. You got to learn how to create them for yourself. So the number one disability that our Black college graduates have is that they do not know how to create their own opportunities. So it's like if you ever play sports, it's like the difference between the athlete that can create his own shot. Michael Jordan was a player that could create his own shot. That's what made him great. But there are some players who couldn't get a shot off unless you got them open. If you create a shot for them, they could shoot it. Jordan could create his own shot. So in the Black community, we need economic versions of Michael Jordan, meaning we need, economic athletes that can create their own shot. Don't wait for no white man to save you. You don't want all of your potential and all your greatness and all your destiny to be locked away from you because white folks didn't give you permission. That's no excuse. Well, the minute you become aware of the amount of control that he seeks to have over your outcomes, that's the moment that you have to commit yourself to saying, I'm breaking out of that cage. That's not going to happen. That's not going to be me. You got one shot at this thing called life. You got one shot to be great. Like everything that I've done in my life to this point, I had one shot to do it. And I was in the cage like everybody else. I was boxed in like everybody else. I had to make a decision to bust out of that motherfucker. So whatever it is in your life, wherever you're boxed in, maybe you're boxed into a bad relationship. Maybe you're boxed into a tough situation. Maybe you're boxed into your own bad habits. Maybe you're boxed in by fear. Maybe you're boxed in by what you see to be white supremacy. I don't know what it is, but whatever that box is, you got to find a way out. You got one shot, or you can die in that box. It's up to you. Let's see. Lon, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. I've been following you for years and took your advice and jumped into the stock market this past March and April and got a lot of great stocks and money invested. I appreciate you for inspiring us to think bigger. Well, good for you, Lon. I'm very, very proud of you. And I think that is awesome. And I want you to go get that money. I want you to be a trillionaire. Anybody else who wants to learn how to invest, you can learn for free. Go to firstshareofstock.com. That's 4 words, firstshareofstock.com. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, Dr. B? What do you think Trump? Who do you think Trump's putting in jail next from the elite? I don't know. I don't know, Hungry Hustler. He might go get somebody. It's gonna be interesting, right? Because he's talking about pressing charges over this Mike Flynn stuff, but I don't know the details of it all. Let's see here. Put a mask on. Nah. We're going on vacation next week. Which stocks do you think are the best to invest in right now? I think I told my students that Netflix is actually still getting recommended, that there's a lot of upside to Netflix. And also, if you sign up in the stock market program, there's a thing you get for free called What Dr. Boyce is Buying, where I literally show you all the stocks I'm adding to my own portfolio. So if you're interested in that, feel free. The first month is like $1. So you can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com, THE, that's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. No one cares about Democrats and Republicans. I agree. Fear equals control. Yes, I agree. D. Lee says, can small businesses survive this crisis? Small Black businesses? A lot of them won't. No, a lot of them won't. Crypto 901, COVID-19 is a cover for global currency reset. The IMF will be the world central bank. XRP will be the world reserve currency. Well, I hope so. Well, I don't hope so, but if it's XRP, that's good. I bought a lot of XRP. So let's see. Bury her in gold says, I love how honest you are. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't, lying ain't that much fun, so I don't want to do too much of that. Let's see. Hungry Hustlers, Dr. B, you know you Black when you use a juice bottle as a water bottle. Oh, look. Show you how ghetto I am. At least I'm drinking my water. See, I'm drinking my water. That's all I do all day. I constantly drink water. I just want to stay hydrated. I saw this Indian guy study cancer, and he interviewed like thousands of cancer patients, and he said that the common factors that he found that determined whether or not people were going to die from cancer, it was like really basic stuff, like how much water you drink, how often you take a shit, how much sleep you get. Like, it was the most basic stuff, like those basic things make a huge difference. So use the bathroom, drink plenty of water, get plenty of sleep, and then keep stress out of your life. Like, those things are huge in terms of your health. It's not the fancy stuff. It's really the basic stuff that gets people. That's one good thing about the quarantine, is that people are coming home and they're getting sleep. They weren't getting enough sleep. Like, it's not normal for you to just be this crazy slave on the corporate plantation like that. So this is actually a good reset button, a good opportunity for you to reshape your life into what you want it to be. Bruce Miller, I'm really hoping we can have a national watchdog of police shootings of our people. We should have known about the brother and sister when the Klan killed them over 2 months ago. I absolutely agree. Angel Mercer, what's your thoughts on Larry Elder? I'm not a big fan of Larry Elder. I see people like that as puppets. John Leverett, what would you recommend day trading in volatile times like these? Yeah, just make sure you know that you can lose money. I mean, if you're okay with losing money, then I'm not anti-day trading. I just don't think that that's, in my opinion, the best way. That's not the best way for me to recommend to the masses to build consistent wealth. The way you build consistent wealth is you diversify and you hold, you buy and you hold. That's tried and true. All the studies show that this works. Day trading is kind of, you're rolling the dice a little bit. Let's see here. Aquaman Ponic says, keep doing what I think is a good job, bro. I'm with it. All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. John Sanders says, Trump wants to return USA to the gold standard. What does that mean? He wants to return us to the gold standard? Okay. That means that he wants the money to be backed by gold. I'm not opposed to that, but I mean, I don't know what that would be pretty messy economically, but hey, okay. Black people need to own digital currency, digital assets, and physical gold and silver, along with foreign currency to hedge against inflation, says Crypto 901. Not a bad idea. I don't disagree with that. Mikey 24, how can we solve the problem with police and all other problems we put aside because of the virus? I think we have to learn how to live with the virus and focus on other things other than the virus. Right now people are kind of hypnotized by fear porn from the media, and I don't think that's healthy at all. Let's see here. Pimp Scheduler says, I like Dean Davis' question. Legitimacy for us is an economic force. How do we tell when we're dealing with legitimate businesses? It's a good question. I would do my due diligence. Just take your time. I don't recommend doing. I mean, I think that you can, if you're talking about just buying from a black business, I don't think you have to do as much of the due diligence unless it's something that's like that can make you sick. You know, you're taking in something you're putting in your hair that can make your hair fall out or something like that. You know, and in that case, you would look at, you know, just Google them. You can find out about the reputation and stuff like that. I think in terms of business partnerships, you have to be really, really careful. I don't do business partnerships unless I really, really know you and have been connected with you for a very long time, because when you form partnerships, it's a little bit like dating or marriage. You know, somebody can rape you, they can, you know, rob you, they can really do bad things to you. So, you know, I'm a big believer in taking your time, you know, whether it's people or businesses or whatever, take your time. Don't jump into stuff. That's for sure. Don't just have a great conversation with somebody and start a business with them. That's a very bad idea. Let's see here. Flynn, let's see. Any thoughts on the US dollar coin? No, I don't. I mean, I can't imagine them continuing to use paper money for too long, given viruses and all that stuff. Let's see here. Oh, my Instagram just went out. Watch Dr. Claude Anderson's old videos from the 90s. Seems like nothing has changed for us as a collective and never will. It's changed for some of us. Some of us it's changed for, some of us it hasn't. So remember, the whole black community ain't going to elevate at the same pace. You're going to have some people that just going to choose to be left behind. And I encourage you to just move on. Like, I mean, people that don't want to get it, maybe their kids or grandkids will get it in the next generation, but don't let them hold you back. D. Reed, thank you for your donation. I appreciate it. Respect you, Dr. Boyce. So I respect you too. Thank you. Neg says, what do you think about having our own black party on the national level? I think we could vote as a block. I don't think we could actually elect a candidate that's just our candidate. I think that would be hard to do. And also remember, your vote got diluted by, you know, all the immigrants and everything. So, you know, a lot of times when they get you to support immigration, unfortunately, you're kind of voting against your interest. That's, you know, just a fact. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go. I've been on here for 56 minutes and she's waiting for me upstairs. I just thought I would come down and say hi and answer a few questions. And don't forget, Black Movie Night happens on the 21st. We're going to watch Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint. Go register now at blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. You can watch for free. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a conversation with the director, and we're building a Black-owned movie industry. We're building by supporting and elevating films that are in our own community. We're making movies. We got some really great films coming out for you very, very soon. So we're creating our Black Hollywood. Just need something better than that. So we would love to have your support. I would love for you to be actively involved in this. So if you could at least take this video link and share it on your social media, I would appreciate that very much. Also, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and notification bell before you go. Last but not least, if you want to learn how to buy your first share of stock for free, go to firstshareofstock.com. It's 4 words, firstshareofstock.com, and you'll learn in about 10 minutes. And I want everybody to be a stock market investor who's on my channel, because that's really a critical key to wealth. So thank you guys. Hashtag B1 in the chat on your way out the door. I'll see you soon, and have a nice night. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.